Hi, hello everyone. I hope that your week is doing great. Welcome to a new grammar video. And for today's new topic, we are going to be covering and talking about the zero conditional. First of all, let me ask you some questions. The first one is, guys, what happens if you freeze water? Easy, right? It turns into ice. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. That's correct. Now, the second question. If you go to the Yipen festival, what activities can you do? Let's think about that for about a few seconds. Great. Since we have been talking about holidays, celebrations, and festivals, if you go to the Yipen festival, you can see the floating lights and to marry the Buddhism. That's correct. Okay, so since we are learning about a new topic, let's keep practicing and using the holidays vocabulary we used during the class. Remember that we have been developing activities about festivities, holidays, and celebrations. So now let's talk about and focus about the zero conditional. Firstly, keep in mind that for the zero conditional, we have a small structure. It just has two parts. The first one it is found in color orange, that it is the if clause, our condition, and then we have the main clause, that it is the result and it is found on color white. Follow the arrows and see that for the if clause, we are going to use if and the simple present. Then we also need a comma. And finally, we have a result that it is again in the simple present. So remember, for both parts, you need simple present. Okay? Now let's see an example. If you go to a festival, you celebrate something. Our condition is if you go to a festival and the result is you celebrate something. Remember that I divided them into colors. And remember, you cannot forget the comma. If your sentence starts with if, when you finish that part, you need a comma there, okay? Great. Now, the second example. If it is Halloween, you get a costume. You see, as easy as that. For both of them, I used the simple present. And I did not forget the comma. But guys, remember the third person singular. That is very, very important. Remember that for simple present, for the third person singular, he, she, or it, we need to add s, es, or ies to the verb. In the case of the last example, it is. That is my verb to be. And I conjugated following the simple present structures, okay? And rules. Very good. Now you may ask yourselves, when do we use the zero conditional? Well, the zero conditional is used to make statements about the real world. It often refers to general truths, such as the scientific facts, right? In these sentences, the time is now and always, and the situation is real. Remember that when we were talking about the simple present rules and when do we use them, we talked that we use simple present to talk about things that are always true, about routines, about facts that always happen, and so on. So these rules also happen in the zero conditional. So keep that in mind. That is the reason why we use simple present tense. Let me give you the first example. If it is the Independence Day, they celebrate with parades. Our condition, it is found in the number 1 and it is in color orange. And then we have the number 2 that it is the result. They celebrate with parades. You see, For both parts, we used simple present. Then here we have, people receive gifts if it is Christmas, right? So we have in color white the condition and in color orange the result. Now what it is more like in color red, okay? Take a look here. We changed the places. We started with the result and then we have the condition. And when that happens, you do not need a comma if you start with the main clause. You saw that is also a zero conditional sentence. You do not need a comma if you start with the main clause. Easy. You don't need a comma if you start with the main clause. Let me give you another example. We listen to Christmas carols if it is Christmas. Once again, in color white, we have the result and then we have the condition. Very good. Also, we also use the zero conditional to give instructions, okay? Using the imperative in the main clause. So when you want to give instructions, you can use the zero conditional. For example, we have, if Amber calls, tell her to meet me at the Halloween party. Or, if you want to come to the barbecue, let me know. You see? That is everything about the zero conditional, guys. You only have to use simple present. Remember that if you start with if, you need a comma, and if you start with the result, you don't need a comma. Okay, guys? So that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, if you have any question, just email me or write a comment down below. Thank you. Bye-bye.